What's up, punters and dribblers? Welcome back to another episode of About Even, the number one betting show in all of the land. Coming to you thanks to our good friends at Ned's. Make sure that if you do have a punt, you take it to the Ned's level, but gamble responsibly. As always, week 4 of the NRL starts right now. Joined as always, Edward Simpson, Hello Sport fame, Sebastian Antoniou, breaking the yips. And for the final time, before he fucks off into obscurity, our good friend The Scope down the end, how are you, of Levels fame, Levels podcast.
Good boys, yeah. It's sad that I'm going to be moving on, but maybe not for the punters as much because I'm looking down at the units there when we're about to get into accountability and, you know, maybe they're looking for a change themselves. So, mate, it's been a fun 4 weeks. We'll definitely be doing content together in the future. I love doing the stream that we did on Thursday night.
Yeah, that was a ripper.
Yeah,
well,
I think it's been good fun on this show as well.
Yep. Well,
it has been fun, mate.
Thank you for your time.
It's been good to have you.
Yeah, that's been great.
Obviously, you're a dog, but that's okay. That's okay.
That's all good.
That's all good.
You're a dog.
Yeah, now you're a dog. You
Yeah, all right.
I'm not going to give you that dog status.
Coming up on the show, obviously we got accountability. Round 4 of the NRL, random stats guy who I remember exists. His bet of the week. Unit Scoopers, our $10 into 10,000. And our Lippy Dribbler is actually coming in with a bit of fucking chutzpah about him this week. Vincent Correndon hit a smoothie bet last week, which we'll get into, but he's our Lippy Dribbler, and he actually intimidates me. A name Vincent intimidates me if it has a bit of nuts behind it generally.
It's a real, like, hitman vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dresses all in black.
Yeah. Vincent.
Wears like sunnies from the 90s, but they work on him. He looks good. He looks like a bit Morpheus sort of vibe.
Vince Vaughn's got a bit of presence.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Morpheus.
Vince
A scary Timmy Oliphant type vibe. You know what
shit.
I mean?
That's a good
Just
call. I like that.
it's
Pulls off a
Vincent.
leather jacket.
Yeah.
Pulls it off real well.
Skinny.
I'd like to be able to pull off a leather jacket. I bought one maybe a couple of years ago from like an op shop thing. Never wore it. And didn't
Yeah,
wear it
but
back.
I remember
didn't
you.
even put it on.
The jacket wore you.
Mate, I didn't even put I wore it, got it was $50 leather jacket. I'm like, this is cool. Steph was like, you'll never wear that, and I didn't.
That was like, so when you're 23, you can pull it off. When the world's your oyster, you're like,
not
you're
hot
past
enough.
teen, and you're like, I can go out till all hours. I got a leather jacket. I'm cool. You put one on these days.
No,
and
you're like
Mate, you've got to be a gangster or you got to be hot as fuck.
Yeah, you need to be a model wearing pearl necklaces.
Yeah, and a
nails
midriff.
fucking-
And you can get away with it. Or you got to be a heavy hitter. And Tom's neither.
My mum got me a leather jacket once when she went to Europe and then came back, and I think I've said it before, and it was just like this box, and I remember wearing it out to like the Oak once, and I'm walking around like a leather jacket, and it was all anyone would say to me, and I just was like, I'm not a leather guy. It's tough. Anyway, shout out to Vincent, our Lippy Dribbler.
Who is a leather guy?
Who is a leather guy.
and doesn't miss.
Doesn't miss.
Yeah.
We start with the Seagulls defeating the Eels 34-30. A couple of salutes here.
3.
Which was nice. 3 from 5. Myself, Scope, and Sebastian all saluting. Mine was obviously a nice, juicy Old Testament bet, which was just nice to get one out of the way.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, you would have been nervous because that line was
Dude, the end of the
disappearing.
game was just a chaotic fucking
The final 10
hodgepodge of-
was like from the 67th minute onwards or something.
Did that kind of break your heart a little bit? Because it was 13 plus in
we
play. I can't remember.
we were home and hose, and we let 3 tries in fucking 10 minutes and fucked me.
I thought you had 13 plus.
I had it on a personal away from, so I was the same as Eduardo, but I also had the snack in there. So I had Ruben Garrick 13 plus.
You had Manly 13 plus into that horse that fucking went like a busted ass.
Oh yeah,
Well, let's
that you teed us into.
You teed us into that thing that missed
Oh,
the
learning
jump.
to win, it just wins. It just learning to fly just wins.
It
just
fell
wins.
over.
Yeah, it fucking.
Yeah.
The jump was bad.
So
That was the first thing the fucking commentator says is, "Oh, learning to fly shit itself." The jump. You're like, "Oh, great."
Seems like it just loses.
It had about even weight on it, so it just couldn't. It was too much.
Too
But that's again. Yeah, nice Eduardo, getting into me straight away. Even though I've saluted, we're trying to speak. I actually saluted on the first part of this show.
It's been brewing.
There was no reason to bring learning to fly in this, bro. We're not at that point yet.
Yeah, it's been brewing. Know that. I was having a beautiful Saturday afternoon.
Oh, Jesus, that's tough. 1885 for myself, 976 for Scope, and 551. Just nice to get off on a winning
I
feeling.
feel those Manly para games, and there's a few other teams as well, that it's just good unit makers. You know what I mean? It's not a Poo Slinger. It's not a full-on defensive thing. It's just, if you're not collecting units on that, I don't know how well you're going to go the rest of the season.
And look, I'll just give a little bit of an insight into where I'm going this week. My Manly bet is fire and brimstone, Old Testament, Tom, like you have never fucking seen. But if you look at it, punters and dribblers, you will realise it might be the greatest bet of the week. Anyway, move on. Dolphins 36 defeat the Knights. Eddie and Sebo. Sebo 2 from 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, this was a conservative, just a line bet. But as I said, you know, when you're punting on NRL, I view it as an entire season. And so, yeah, you are kind of just collecting units and investigating certain styles of bets, certain styles of teams, and that's what it was.
It was a fact-finding mission.
Yeah, it was a
Mate,
mission.
Fish -5.5 was just such a layup.
Yeah.
Like the Knights are fucking dog shit. And Ponga wasn't even playing, and the Fish going well. So you gobble up 5.5, and then you just a little sprinkle of a Sarko in there for 3.23.
I think I kind of am unlucky in bad beat sort of territory that I didn't get hammer 2+.
Well,
It's not a bad beat, but it's unlucky.
No, it's not a bad.
But it's unlucky. It's unlucky.
He scored a try.
Yeah, but
He
you
did
see
drop
that
a
he didn't get
ball.
two.
He did drop a ball, so half a bad beat. Like he had that line break. I don't know.
Yeah,
if he
I like
definitely
your
scores.
13 plus. It was nice. That was nice.
13 plus, mate.
But I'm not going to give you the hammer bet because it didn't happen.
You can say it's unlucky.
No.
Scope, you got fucked by a Dommy Young dude. It's just what happens.
Well, look what happened.
got
Adam
dropped.
O'Brien's dropped him for it. So he's not happy as well. Adam O'Brien's not happy.
Did you get on the blower?
Yeah, I rang up.
Yeah, you said fucking drop him.
And I rang up the eighth, the assistant coach at Manly, Fane.
Yeah.
He's down there. Get him off. No good.
Nah.
Not good enough for
Not
us.
good enough.
So he's out this week. Dropped. New South Wales Cup.
And that's directly related to this bet, which I respect, that you still have that sort of pull in the game of rugby league scope. It's nice. Roosters defeat the Rabbitohs 20-18. This one was fucked. No one really came close to anything, did they?
No. Yeah, my March stats weren't great. Just look, I'm working it out, right?
What do you think? What do you put that down to? Were you just looking in the wrong places?
I just looking in the wrong places, mate. You know, you can spend all your time looking in the wrong place. You know, where the fuck are my keys? You're looking in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in your pocket, bro.
Yeah, right. Last place you look.
Yeah.
It happened to me the other day. I was about to tee off, and I was like, where are my car keys? And I spent 15 minutes running around the pro shop, the bathroom, everything. Keys in my pocket.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Can I just say before we go on, I like your beard this week. You've trimmed it back.
I had the
revealed quite a
shorter
chiseled chin.
I had the shortest setting on this morning, and I kind of got halfway through, and I was like, fuck it, you haven't done the full shorty, just a clean shorty, everything the same length for a while, see how it plays out.
It plays, dude. It plays.
I would have liked a bit longer, but I'm working with like a beard trimmer that's missing a lot of pieces at the moment. But
Okay.
I'm attached to it.
Reach
so-
out, beard trimmers.
Yeah, reach out, beard trimmer. I need a fresh one.
Okay, big beard trimmer coming your way. Titans defeat the Storm 38-34. Daddy gets up again. Daddy's back. It's official. Daddy's back. Coates, Shoop. Thank you. I believe Rando, who I completely forgot last week, got me the Shoop bet.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
Nick Meaney, he just finds the chalk. And Jerome Hughes goes over 722.
Are you unlucky there? Was Sammy shit scope? Did he not do
No,
it?
no,
Should he have scored in a high-scoring game?
He should have fell over, which still would have got your bet because Shoop got two, and he just sort of handed one to Shop just before the line. He literally could have fell over. So there was two occasions, him and my bet in the Cowboys, which we'll get to. Very unlucky, but Titans win. Happy with that.
You take it.
You do take it.
Over the
40.
Storm as well. Like, that's
great stuff.
That's good stuff. They suck, the Storm. But they're also too hard to bet on for me, which we can get to. Warriors defeat Cowboys 26-12. Fuck the Cowboys. You fucked me in every way a man can be fucked.
Reece Robson didn't fuck us, though.
Reece Robson didn't. I knew that. I said they're going to have to change up their points of attack. That was really smart, astute rugby league mind of me. But Val Holmes didn't score and the Cowboys didn't win 13+.
And Nana didn't score, which was disappointing.
That would have changed my life.
Very disappointing.
But if
What I've come to realise is, gentlemen, and this is just how I feel. This is a personal opinion. I don't think the Cowboys are that good.
I'm with you.
I don't think it's their year.
You think it is their year, though, or you did at least?
I did.
No Cotter, no drink water this week. I reckon it's bad signs.
Yeah. I'm going against them again.
Fucking oath, so am I.
Leading into our bets, but I'm not going to get too carried away, boys. We're
I
still
am.
in the first month of the footy. We'll see how it plays
I
out.
like getting carried away.
But there's danger signs.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
I mean,
there's danger signs there.
Last year went great, but the year before they were like bottom four, right? and then the year before that, bottom 4. Like
That's true.
I think it's starting to feel like last year was a fluke.
Yeah, like it happens, right? It happens all the time.
Yeah, Leicester City won the Premier League.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Fluke.
Yep.
Happens.
They were 2 wins and 3 losses to start the season last year, so let's not write them off just yet.
There you go.
As a neutral fan here,
Yeah,
as a
as a
neutral
neutral fan there.
Yeah,
The bet that I was most disappointed that didn't get up was your motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one too. Shibasaki was all but over.
Yeah.
Just
Deserved better.
It deserved better, Shibasaki.
Yeah.
I just love saying the name.
No, it's a
Shibasaki.
great
Shibasaki was close.
Shibasaki, it does sound like a motorbike or like a dish.
Yeah, and Shibasaki went to go put the hand out and just couldn't quite roll it. Didn't have the grip. Not a consistent first grader yet. Shibasaki, but there'll be more opportunities for Shibasaki.
Sweet. Next up, Broncos hump the Dragons, or at least it looks like a humping on the scoreboard, 40-18.
It was a 15-minute humping.
15-minute
where they
humping,
just got
which is about
absolutely
the sort of-
railed.
That's the ideal. That's the ideal amount of time for a humping.
I'd agree with that, Tom. There's a lot of people out there that, fuck, mate, you got to hump for 45 minutes. Like,
Way too long.
bullshit. If you're putting your fucking heart and soul into a good, honest romp, you can't go 45 minutes, can't?
No,
it'll kill you.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's also not sustainable, right? It's not fun. It ceases to be fun.
Yeah.
Payne Haas. You can't say I was dudded by Payne Haas. It was always a bold call, but Broncos, Walsh, Haas.
Haas didn't look likely, I don't think.
Well, I know, but he's just so fucking good. I'm just like, sure.
He had a great game.
Smash over at some point.
He was setting everyone else up.
Yeah.
He set me up.
He set you up.
Yeah, he set a couple of my meetings. We've got a little bit of red next to that, Ed. Why don't you change that to green for me? Because Mam scored.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
I've got two. I got two.
You got two there. You got 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
Yeah, okay.
And the Dragons plus 11.5 was looking good
Yeah, it was.
before the romping.
Yeah, before the romping. The 15 minutes of.
It's the Dragons. They are going
They'll
to
fuck
look
you.
good. And then
Dragons got 3 tries, not 2.
I know. I was
for
one
Sebo.
try off, which hurts, but I'll take some confidence from that I'm kind of getting a bit of a read on what the fuck's going on.
Well, you're
that's
not
not-
because you were wrong.
And just a bit of an update on the Lippy through 6 games of rugby league, 1 leg so far.
Just one leg?
Just the single leg.
Okay. And who was our Lippy last week? Was he Royce Hunt or whatever? The fucking.
So,
the former-
I don't reckon.
He was a forgettable one, wasn't
So forgettable.
Tim Dodds?
Tim Don?
Tim Don? It was one where it was like.
Don, dude.
And no disrespect, but your betting reflects the fact that you might be the most forgettable Lippy in the history of the show. Not a mantle anyone wants, but one that you currently hold. Guy whose name I can't remember. Bulldogs beat the Tigers 26-22. I got close again with kick out. The 13 plus obviously died on me.
You didn't get close.
No,
it was
he
1 to
got
12.
close. No, I know. I'm saying with kick out. Kick out almost went over.
Yeah, I know. And he fucked me.
Anyway, but everyone was just a one leg of this game, except for Lippy. Although he was kind of the closest. Doggies by a point.
How much did we win? 4 points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that close.
Nah. Unless there was an odd number floating around, it's not that close.
Fair. Raiders 24, defeat the Sharks, Eddie.
There we are. Thank you, brah. 9 on the fucking trot. No Nico Hines. Like, what are you doing, bruh? At home. You've lost it. You've absolutely lost it. Now, Hudson Young didn't score for me, but there's a couple of opportunities for him to get over. They just didn't fucking find him when they needed to. But Raiders were always going to win that game. And as I said in the stories, me and Ricky broke bread in the off-season, which you'd forgotten about because you were there. We had a great chat.
Yeah, I forgot.
We bonded. Couple of beers, shot the shit. Wants to do a fucking potty.
You got his number.
I got his number. He gave me his number. Said, call me. So,
You haven't called him now, have you?
no, I haven't. But I've got it, and I will. Out
I
of
thought you might have
respect.
called him after the game.
Well, I could text him and go,
Yeah,
great
so
win, mate.
Great win. Something to think about. Sebo, you got up?
Yeah, Kennedy. Mulatalo. Kennedy came to the little afternoon session we were having and just scored, within the first 10 minutes or something. And I was like, I like this guy, Kennedy. Mulatalo crashes over about 10 minutes after that, getting your bet done and dusted about 30 minutes into the game on a Sunday.
That must feel nice.
It feels
Sunday night,
really nice.
when you're winding down.
Yeah.
Always
That's
wind down on
the way to
Sunday.
round out a weekend, isn't
Oh,
it?
fuck yeah.
The UFC, only one correct bet here, and that was the scope down the end, Justin Gagey decision.
However, he doesn't get the units. Bet never went on. I threw out a text. I go, bruh, what were those? What would you get for Gagey? What did you get for Gagey? Oh, fuck, I don't know. Ooh, that's alarming.
Were you fishing for a porky? Were you hoping? Were you hoping I was going to throw a little porky out there? I'm an honest dude, Eduardo. I don't roll like that.
Oh, fuck.
Unfortunately, at the time of filming, we hadn't received the odds yet,
No,
so
it's fair.
that's why I didn't put it on.
Yep.
And then,
But rules are rules, right?
rules are rules, bro.
Yeah.
Rules are rules. And
That's tough.
I would have loved those units to go out with a week to go, but I can't take those units.
What do you
boys.
do?
I can't take.
What do you
those
do?
units.
Well, that's look, I'm here, and that's unfortunate. I'm here.
Those units are left in the ring in the octagon.
Yeah.
yeah, they're
That's
out
where
there.
they're left.
Mate, without rules, anarchy.
Complete anarchy.
But it's a great selection nonetheless.
You
Boys, can
did-
we admit that?
No, it was great. It was a great
Yeah.
selection.
did well.
It was
You
a
did well.
dogfight.
It was a fucking good fight.
It was a dogfight.
Yeah, it was Dog City, and he is. If you know, he's a dog.
He's dog.
Oh,
He
he's
loves those
He's got
fucking
that
sorts of
dog in him.
Oh, shit,
Fucking
yeah.
oath.
$10 into 10,000. Seb let us down.
Yep.
And Rando,
And Rando let
are
us
you been
down.
letting us down a fair bit?
Yeah, I got my best bet. Just give me a break.
Rando let us down.
No, look,
I'm 3 from 3 here, just trying to fucking pump the boys up.
I'm picking up scraps. I'm picking up the games that I don't want to pick up.
You can pick whatever game you want.
I got the double back-to-back Poo Slinger on a Sundays, Brando. Don't talk to me about excuses, bro.
I had Walsh anytime. Eddie had Raiders W. Scope had Manly -2.5. Seb had Trell anytime. Rando had Tuolungi.
Yeah, you got to stay away from Cowboys, Rando, because they suck.
I'm staying
Yeah,
away from
I want you to like avoid Cowboys games because you get too emotional.
Yeah, fair.
You get too
I've done it.
emotional,
I'm
mate.
out of it. I'm out of it for today.
Yeah,
Too
No
emotional.
Cowboys game.
way too emotional, dude. You need to woo up on the emotion. All for emotion, but not when it comes to betting on your own side.
Not at the expense of 10 into 10,000
No.
because we
Sorry,
want
boys.
10 grand, right?
So sorry.
Unit Scooper.
But just an update on that, we are now. We've hit 2. We hit
Okay.
Reece Walsh and then we hit the Raiders, so we're 2 live.
Okay, great. Lovely.
8 to go.
The Unit Scoopers. Now, I went pretty close to basically irreversibly changing my life for the better. My smoothie bet of a try scorer in each game is paying $1,027 now. I'm not going to say this man's full name, but I was 4 from 4. Colin Matungi, the real like fucking pull one out of your ass sort of thing.
Scored first as well.
Scored first. The next game was Cowboys against the Warriors. The Warriors having not won in Australia for like 48 years, and the Cowboys of fucking great team last year fame, I'm thinking. And Nanai scores every 2 seconds. I get a fucking inbox from some dribbler with his bet slip, and it was from a rival agency, which hurt even more. And he goes, don't want early crow here, but we're looking good. And I just went, oh, you sack of shit. Next game, Nano doesn't score. Done. And then the next game, Walsh does score, Adokar does score, Mulatalo does score. It was Adokar on Sunday, and then Cattell. He fucked up.
How can you in the same sentence say don't want to early crow you while sending a bet slip and saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
His name was Max. That's all I'll say.
like how is
Fuck
that?
you, Max.
That you can't get any more early crow than that.
Yeah.
like that's the most early. You could at least just send like maybe just a sweating emoji. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
yeah.
Like, don't be like, I don't want to early crow you here.
With half a round to go.
Dude, exactly. We're only halfway there.
Yeah, we're not even a game to go.
No.
Half a round.
It's disgraceful betting etiquette. Disgraceful.
Real mates don't early crow.
Yep.
That's all I'd say to that.
Never early crow.
Never
ever.
early crow. But Sebo, you also went close.
Yeah, but mine was over maybe after a couple of them hit. I went close, but there's been a few. I've seen a few smoothies floating about.
Yeah, dude.
I feel smoothies are at the beginning of seasons when there's a lot more points. Teams still have hope. People are throwing around the footy a little bit. So I am kind of in the smoothie market now.
Okay, you're getting the smoothie business?
Yeah, and as Origin starts prepping up, that's the Ozaki run. But yeah, I'm in the smoothie business.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome
yeah.
to the smoothie game.
Are you a boosters sort of guy or?
I'm a melon head, could you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer the non-franchise smoothie
No, that's fair enough.
operations.
That's fair
Yeah,
enough.
no, melon head goes off.
Yeah.
It's
I
real
didn't.
good.
I'd never heard of smoothies until boosters came to Dubbo.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, quite a day. Quite a day.
You'd never heard of
Mango. Ooh, what's mango?
You'd never heard of a smoothie before. And did you nip down there? Was it an
Probably
event?
my first smoothie was at Boost Juice.
Mango Tango Crush.
Yeah, early 2000s,
Yeah,
I'd say.
big time.
Tropical Storm, I think, was one that I used to get around.
Mango Magic was my go-to up
Really?
there next to EB games, and I'd nip in there and look at some PS2 games.
Yeah,
that was living.
Is that
yeah.
why you wore your knee swinger jean shorts?
Fucking oath.
And your Velcro Puma shoes.
Correct.
Hawaiian
No,
shirt?
my suedes.
Yeah.
No, they were for special occasions.
Oh, okay, right.
Well, getting a
school
boost juice
dances
was
and
probably
shit.
a special occasion.
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah, your Hawaiian button-up shirt.
Yeah, Hawaiian. Well, it still doesn't make sense to me, and I struggle to get an answer out of Mum. But
Well, how'd she let you dress like that?
well, I mean, like if we went to a wedding, we'd wear Hawaiian shirts, funeral Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, right. Okay. Have you got any-
Dancers Hawaiian shirt.
Okay,
I don't know.
is there any sort of Hawaiian in the family lineage?
No, I don't believe so, Tom, which makes it more perplexing.
No Hawaiian lineage. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
But listen, the Simpsons loved a Hawaiian shirt, so
Shout out to Boost Juice. Eddie, take us through the leaderboard.
shout out to Boost Juice. Tom won the week. Well done, bro.
Yes. New Testament.
3 from 12, 20 from 35 legs.
Oh, because I'm in the lead.
Calm down, Sebo.
down.
That's not a good sign.
No, that's not, is it? He wants
That's
to
not a
offload
good
the belt.
sign. 20 from 35 legs, solid. 3.46 units. Sebo second, 3 from 12 bets, 16 from 28 legs, 1.53 units. I was third, 3 from 12 bets as well, 15 from 28 legs, 0.45 units in the positive. I think my first positive week, so that's good stuff. Scope, 2 from 12, 16 from 28, minus 1.28. That Gagey not putting that bet on. Fuck you.
That fucked
I
up.
needed those units.
And Lippy, none from 9. 4 from 21 legs, appalling, minus 10.19 units.
Unforgettable week.
Unforgettable.
I love
forgettable.
that shit as well because fuck those Lippies are like, I only watch this show because you fuckers never get a bet right.
Yeah.
It's like, you fucking never get a bet right. Look at you, you're fucking hopeless. Now, Sebo's still winning,
Yeah.
9 from 34 bets.
Yep.
I did something fun this week, guys. I
Yeah.
thought it'd be a bit of a giggle. So Sebo in first, 4.64. Scope second, minus 8.68. I'm third, minus 10.39. Lippy fourth, minus 12.5. And Tom, minus 13.58.
Right, I'm just the engine starter.
But I thought, I'm going to look at how bad the Lippies is going. Now, he's not in last, but that's only because he's missed a couple of UFCs, which he would have got wrong, and he would have been fucking dead last
Yeah.
anyway. So the Lippy has got 2 from 27, 7.4% of their bets right, the lowest by far. Legs, this is where it gets really spicy. It's 19 from 71 legs, 26.76%. Compared to my 43%, for example.
Or my 41.
Or your 41. Well below everyone else. So the Lippy is fucking terrible. Know that.
I like
So before you lip up, motherfuckers, you just better start hitting some legs. Because you're shit, all of you.
I love that, Eddie. I love the work into seeing legs percentage.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a legs percentage
dude.
before, ever.
But they're important, right?
yeah,
Because it's like, fucking, oh yeah, your bet might have fallen over. But if you're getting close every week,
Yeah.
then you're fucking right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're getting, like Lippy got 1 from 1 leg in all his NRL bets. 1 leg.
yeah, their legs are
Like, mate.
You don't know what you're talking
You
about.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
bruh.
That's a great point. Like, if you're hitting legs, at least you know what you're talking about.
But I read that comment as I was doing that leaderboard and the legs thing. It just got under my
under your skin?
I'm like, fuck you, cunts.
Should we get some punting going on? Should we
Let's
punt?
do it.
Should we
Let's
punt?
do it. Rant over.
Let's punt.
Rant over.
All right, game 1, round 4, Thursday night. The Eels, Panthers, grand final replay, rematch, however you want to call it, at CommBank, formerly Bank West, steepest stadium in the land. Eels, outsiders as fuck, 310. Panthers at $1.35. The line, 7.5. The over-under, 38.5. Ryan Dolomites Madison back in the side after paying his fine. Sorry, not paying his fine. Sitting out for the first 3 rounds. For those of you that don't know, the Eels 0-3 currently. They went from grand finalists to 0-3. Now they're taking on the Premiers in round 4. Before I go to anyone on the panel, though, it's very much important that I go to random stats guy over there, Nathan Corbet, because he will provide some stats. He'll give us some weather, and it's what you do every time. So, Rando, how are you?
Great, Tom. Thank you so much for the intro. Just want to say that obviously the temperature's going to be raining, expected.
Temperature's going to be raining.
Temperature's going to be raining. Temperature's going to be 23, expected to rain right before kickoff. The points under 38.5. I don't think there will be too many points in this one. 10 of the last 13 games between these two teams have gone under the points handicap. In the last 5 seasons, Panthers games in the wet have averaged 35 points. The Eels have averaged 36 points in the wet, so not too much at all going on there. If you're looking for a try scorer, Brian Tottle's your man. He has scored 7 tries in his last 5 games, including a double in each of his last 2. And the Panthers are also scoring 60% of their tries down the right edge.
Those are some horny stats that back up my gambling. I'm going to throw it down to Scope, though, first, just to get things rolling.
All right. And, boys, the way I'm going to get it rolling is, unfortunately, off the back of our play, and there were plenty of punters and dribblers that got on the page for Parramatta, and they were hitting up the Parramatta Eels page, followed back to Scope. I was getting tagged in it.
Yeah?
I got at least half a dozen. But at the end of the day, that's come from this show, and I then went on to select multiple legs for Manly. So, in order to try to win them back again this week for the punters
they still
and
didn't
dribblers-
follow you?
No follow.
that's a
follow Scope.
that's disgraceful.
Still no follow, and that's because I didn't have one Parramatta selection in my bet last week, which saluted. So, I need to find them some jam. I need to find them a dub in order to get back into the Parramatta good books.
Yep.
So, I'm going Parramatta to beat the back-to-back champ Penrith Panthers. And I'm chasing a follow, and I'm chasing some bags. I'm chasing some dill bags. Dylan Brown, been chasing them all year so far. You put them two together, Dylan Brown anytime, Parramatta to win, $12.05.
There is the Para do set, like they're a bit of a, even though they fucking smashed them in the grand final, pre-grand final, Para were kind of a bogey side for Penrith, weren't they, last year?
Yeah, and
Like
the
they
year
found a
before,
way
I
to
think
do
they
it,
both
yeah.
got him at least one time throughout the year. And I think I can remember, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, Dill Brown was almost smiling towards the try line, and Brian Toto come and clean him up at the last minute, but he still got it over, and I'm looking for that again this week.
Eduardo?
Listen, I just don't like what I've been seeing out of Parramatta. I really don't. And I just think that coming up against a rested Penrith side, who I think went down to Kiama, a bit of a fucking bonding trip.
Did they go to the ice creamery down there?
They would have
Hell
gone
of
to
an
the
ice
ice
creamery.
creamery.
Really good ice creamery in
mate.
Kiama.
100% they would have gone to the ice creamery. What was that? What's the adventure park
Oh,
down
no,
there?
that's the Ulladulla Indoor Park.
Well, is that in the same fucking area?
It's a whole lot of fun.
No, that's Jamboree.
Fun,
Oh,
man.
Jamboree.
Ulladulla
Yeah.
Indoor Park.
They would have gone to Jamboree.
Jamboree,
They
yeah,
would have
different.
controlled the action.
Yeah.
Like, I reckon they come out of this trip fucking gelled again, baby.
Do you think they control the action on Thursday night?
I think they control the action on Thursday night, Tom. And I think that Luai wants to go out there and hand out some spankings. You know what I mean? Daddy wants to go out there and spank some fucking Eels. And I think that his boys, his Mount Druitt gang, will fucking come with him. So I've got To'o, Crichton, and Luai to score a try, 14-23. Spankings.
I would have liked if there was a bit more of a Jamboree element to your bet. Like, I do get it, but a Jamboree bet would have been nice considering they went.
Well, they're controlling the action.
Yeah, but I do think if, especially because these guys are from the mountains, foot of the mountains, that going somewhere as great as the Kiama Ice Creamery, that you don't actually need to go to Jamboree. Like if
That's
the
a fair
Roosters went
point.
to Kiama Ice Creamery, they'd be like, yeah, okay. But the Penrith boys going to the Kiama
Yeah.
Ice Creamery,
Yeah.
they'd be like,
This is a
okay,
fucking- well,
this
it's-
is a hell of a trip.
Yeah,
Like,
this ice creamery is legit, dude, as
yeah,
well.
let's
It's
go
a good
check
one.
out the blowhole.
Yeah.
Maybe go for a swim, but let's come back to the ice creamery later.
Would you get an ice cream and go to the blowhole? Is that generally
Yeah,
how it
You
works?
don't want to lose the ice cream in the blowhole. I almost think ice creamery before blowhole, and then maybe back to the ice cream. Potentially.
Okay.
If you've got time.
You remember we used to play basketball against a team sponsored by the Kiama Ice Creamery, and they'd just towel us up.
Yeah.
Oh, so
if
they
you-
were.
yeah,
Oh, because they're fueled by a
Fucking
fucking.
fueled by Kiama ice cream, dude. It's a fucking legitimate place.
Imagine saying to a couple of young whippersnappers, if you get that dub, ice cream all afternoon.
Yeah.
Like,
You used to as well. If you'd get man of the match, you would get an ice creamery card. I do remember that, but not Kiama ice creamery. I'll tell you. Sebo, what are you doing?
Well, look, I'm now a little bit scared of the Penrith with this ice creamery fuel in them, but being someone who checks about 17 different weather apps a day, I saw very early on that it was raining, so I managed to jag the under 40 points before it's going down. So I thought, and I also have been on the Parramatta side of the Penrith Parramatta matchup since we've been doing this show, and the unders side. And Para, I'm pretty sure, Rando, back me up here, have covered the line every time. And it's gone unders every time, but maybe one, which was like a try in the last. But I'm not taking the Para line. I'm just going to someone who's working out for me, Sevo. So, Sevo, you crush over. Make this a tight game again. Make it a 14, 12. Give me my unders, under 40. It's going to be raining. This is the one chance that Para actually have to go, okay, like, we need to sort our shit out here. Like, this is, if we can't just at least keep them at bay a bit, like, the season is fucked. So, unders, under 40 into Sevo, it's 5.42, but I advise against doing any sort of crazy five-leggers in this match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate the Eels. I'm not going to lie. I can't tell a lie. I hate them, and I'm really fucking enjoying them losing. And I want them to lose again, but because of all of the stats around them and fucking Penrith and shit, I am going to stay away from it because I also don't love Penrith. But I like Sevo at Combank. Who doesn't? You'd be crazy not to like Sevo at Combank. The kid scores for fun. But you also have a look at the stats that says that Brian Toto likes to score, and he likes to score doubles. So you have one shot of Sevo, you have a double shot of Toto, and you get 10.75. I just think that's a you take out results, you take out fucking lines, totals.
Don't hate that.
Sevo anytime, Toto 2 or more,
Don't hate that.
10.75.
Don't hate that.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not a bad bet.
I don't hate it, but it could be a little greedy for this sort of matchup.
Do you think it's greedy, Guts?
A tiny bit. I just think if you just went Sevo Toto, I'll get you $5. While
Tom is greedy though.
Yeah, but I'm
okay.
well. Listen.
And sometimes he gets what he wants.
That's what I mean. And what I've learned, right, is from my first 2 weeks, I was trying to be something I'm not. You know what I mean? And I think that it's very important, and it's a message that we all stand by here at About Even, is to be yourself.
So that 3-month preseason about how betting a little.
It was all complete bullshit.
It was me
It lasted
trying
1
to-
week. It lasted 1 week.
Well, no, it lasted 2 weeks. And then I went back to,
there was still some long ones in week 2.
First 2 weeks was New Testament Tom. I then reverted to Old Testament Tom, and I won the week. So I just need to. This is a competition at the end of the day, and I need to be myself because everyone else is taken. So this isn't too greedy. That's why you liked it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Now the lippy, because I do get greedy later on.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Eels plus 8.5, under 40.5. Taruva anytime, 8.96.
Look, he got a fucking smoothie, so it's hard for me to shit on this guy.
I don't hate that bet.
It's in the philosophy of what my rant as well. So I can't say it's shit. Like, I'm thinking the unders is a certainty, and I'm thinking Parramatta come close to covering that line. So
8.96.
Yeah, and Parramatta have also won each of their last 2 games against Penrith at Bank West, or Combank now as it's called.
What's the chance of rain?
The chance of rain is pretty high, like 60%.
and it's quite a few mils, isn't it?
Yeah,
quite a few
because the mill's important. I'm
It's gonna
assuming
be
the
soaking down.
drainage. Did you ever play at Bank West?
It's milling.
Not the new Bank West.
No. Okay.
Yeah, the old one was.
Parramatta Stadium or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, Para was always. I'm just trying to think. It was pretty slippery there, yeah. But
So the
isn't it sand based now?
They would have ripped the fucking. They would have.
surely they've improved the drainage.
Yeah.
They would have ripped her up. You don't build a new stadium, not rip the fucking old turf up.
Yeah.
It'd be brand spanking now.
Let's move on. Storm v Tigers. Amy Park in Melbourne. The Storm $1.30. The Tigers $3.45. The line is 8.5. Over under 42.5. Before I go to Rando, I just want everyone to know that this game, from a punting perspective, terrifies me to my very core. And
Disagree.
I only put a bet on very late because I don't know what's going on. Rando, please give me some fucking guidance.
Both teams transitioning from a really hot game on the weekend to a 20-degree day in Melbourne. It'll be dry. They're also both coming into this one with historic losing streaks on the line. The Tigers are facing the most consecutive losses in their history with 8 at the moment, looking for 9, while the Storm are facing the most consecutive losses they've ever had at Amy Park. They've lost their last 3. Adam Dewey moves into fullback for the first time since 2020. And the Tigers have lost 8 of their last 9 games when he has played that position.
Holy fuck.
The Tigers have also never beaten Melbourne in Melbourne after coming off a loss. So each of their 2 wins in Melbourne were off wins. Try scorers, looking at Money here back from injury. He scored 7 tries in his last 7 at home and 4 tries in his last 3 Friday night matches.
Holy shit, those stats were very
They were
helpful.
nice stats.
They were nice stats.
great
They will
stats.
change the way that I see the world here. Sebo, what are you doing?
Look, Storm have been a bit shaky, and it is interesting. Last week I was talking about maybe it's the death of an elephant. And the Tigers, the Tigers have been shaky for a decade, right? Like, it's been a decade of stink, more. So I think Melbourne go we've had 2 decades of just dominance, really, and we're coming up, like we need to get back into form, and they're going up against a decade of like stinky teams like the Tigers. So I think they just have to turn it on. Like there's no other option. And it's kind of, I love Rando's stats there because it is just building the drama around it. And I see this game as not the highlight game of the weekend, but it is the game that gets you into the weekend. Maybe it's like a trailer. And I was thinking, okay, what's in a trailer? Normally you're going on your M&Ms, you know what I mean? Like you're saving your pop for the main movie, which is later on in the round. But this is my M&M round, so I just thought Munster and Meanie. You know what I mean?
Top round, really. You get through your choc top
but your choc top's too.
You can't. It'll melt otherwise. You have to work into your choc top.
Yeah, but a lot of the times these days, the freezers are set too low that you got to wait a little bit to get into your choc top. You know what I mean?
Oh, so it's too hard.
Yeah, it's too hard. Like I normally wait until like everything's black, and you're like, okay, now I'm into. But to get me through the trailers, which are like fucking 40 minutes these days, you're just like, I have a few M&Ms.
Okay.
So Munster and Meanie, they are, where are they? They are paying $7.76. So it's not bad for a little M&M bet. 2 try scorers. It's just it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah. Okay. I had Dewey and Coates anytime because I don't know what the fuck is going on with the Storm. I can't understand them, and their form line is so fucking bizarre. Obviously, the Tigers, historically bad side. Historically bad. One of the worst sides we've ever seen in sport, let alone rugby league. Looking for their win streak or their losing streak record. Didn't know that. Love it. But the fact that they lose every time Dewey plays fullback just meant I'm fucking not having that bad juju around me with Dewey in my anytime try scorers. Munster back. I did forget about that. So Munster Coates anytime, 5.22. Just fucking whatever. You know, it's a whatever, like, don't hurt me bet. Just please happen. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. Edward, what are you doing?
Mate, I fucking think the Tigers are absolutely awful. And I don't see why people are giving them fucking even half a sniff.
345 is actually absurd.
They were fucking awful against the Dogs last week. They had fucking 10 good minutes when the Dogs went to sleep. Like, they were just walking through the line. That's how they scored their tries. Like, let's take that out. And they were fucking dog shit. At least Melbourne scored points, and Craig Bellamy said it perfectly in the post-match conference. He was like, it was just effort. No one was fucking trying out there to defend. So they'll fix that up midweek. Know that. They got points in them. Munster comes back, so it'll be raining on fucking Tigers. They got Brandon Wakeham at fucking halfback, who... Like, mate, he's on minimum wage, no offence. Dewey goes to fullback. Apparently he sucks there. So the Tigers are nowhere. Coates 2, Meanie 1, 10-12.
I will say, like, they fucking eviscerated Luke Brooks on NRL 360 last night. They were like, he's in his 13th year. And, like, they're still talking about him with potential. Again, no offence to Luke Brooks. I get it. It'd suck playing at that club when you try and leave and they, like, hold on to you and don't let you go. But, like, Brandon Wakeham comes in and they look good on the weekend when Wakeham was playing in the halves. It's an absolute shit show.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, he looked all right, but let's not get carried away.
I'm not getting carried away.
Well, Sheenius is.
Well, the Sheenius does get carried away.
North Bloomer, fuck off. Staines, you go to wing. Dewey, you go to fullback. Like, they're all over the map. I played 3 games of footy.
Scope, what are you doing?
All right, boys, to get my Friday night started, normally I like to tuck into a bit of KFC.
Okay.
And I'm not too sure.
Friday night KFC.
Yeah, I like a Friday night KFC of, I'm not treating myself. I'm going to treat myself on Friday after working hard throughout the week.
Yeah.
So I get together, train.
You're a dad now. You're not
I'm
going
a
out.
dad,
You gotta. Usually KFC is like a Sunday thing when you bounce.
Yeah.
10:30, waiting for it to open.
Yeah, you were bouncing back on the Friday, actually, if
I
memory
was.
serves me correct.
I got
Eduardo.
KFC
You got
Friday
KFC
morning.
Friday?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm hitting it in the Arvo, bro. And I'm hitting it in this game. And I'm looking at, if they don't have it on the menu right now, the 4-piece feed of Wicked Wings, then they should have it there because these two teams, this is a Poo Slinger, boys.
Yeah, it is. It is
It's
a Poo Slinger.
I caught it last week. Melbourne, Roosters, Poo Slingers. Roosters proved me wrong a little bit there, but Melbourne, they didn't.
No.
They got beaten by the Titans.
Yeah, they did.
OG Poo Slingers.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at these two teams, and they can't defend to save their lives based off last week. So I'm going to tuck all 4 wingers.
Oh.
Both teams. So we're going Will Rawbrick, yet to cross, surprisingly, for the Melbourne
brick.
Storm. But he's due. The brick's due.
Brick is due.
Xavier Coates will just score. That's a lock. Charlie Staines, he crossed over. If he's not scoring on the wing, you might see him floating around the middle and scoring underneath the post because he's just keen for some work.
Forbes Ferrari.
And Junior Tupou, he's come in for the axe David Nofaluma. He's got a point to prove. He just scores. So put them all together, you get $21.60. I like the last little bit, 69.
Oh, dinner for two, 4-piece feed.
Little 69 after.
Yeah, we like that. That's
Like
nice.
that.
I don't hate that bet.
Little 69 for dessert.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I would have done a 3 wings and 1 drummy.
Yeah, you would have been a drumstick guy.
That's just me because I'm a drumstick operator. But
Drumsticks, your edge back rowers.
Yeah. Just in case you don't.
I
know.
like a wing attached to the breast. Yeah, the breast is a nicer piece of chicken.
Yeah,
Well,
oh,
it is,
yeah.
yeah.
I'll get 3 wings and just 1 drummer usually.
Yeah,
so
okay.
give me like a Kolomatangi or a
Makes sense.
Now, our Vincent, our hitman dribbler here, who's fucking terrifying, he's got Coates 2+, Munster anytime. That works for me, dude. Me and him are on the same page. I'm just being a little less hectic about it.
Good start from the Lippy.
Yeah, I'm happy with the Lippy so far.
At least optically.
Munster playing, like you got lined to Munster, Scope. Is he 100% playing? Is this going to be a wool pull fucking situation where he's not playing and I'm fucking on him?
Yeah, I'll be honest, boys. No mail on Munster.
Okay.
But I did
Thank
watch
you for nothing.
360. I did watch, well, not 360, maybe Braith was speaking on maybe the Sunday show after the game on the weekend.
Yep.
And he said he's pretty much good to go on that show. So that's not Scope mail.
No.
That's B.A. Baracus mail. So, yeah, if he doesn't play,
It's not on you.
it's not on me.
It's on Braith. Well, we'll probably blame you next week. You won't be able to
Braith's a good mate, so we might
we can maybe
we'll chase him up.
Yeah, we go to the source. We'll move on here to the Fish v the Broncos. No one would have picked this game to be a fucking big old game at the start of the season, but the Fish undefeated, the Broncos undefeated. We've got the Fish 345. Fish, Dolphins on Fish. Broncos $1.30. The line 10.5. The over under 43.5 points. Suncorp Stadium. Very horny for it. Rando, give us some info, please, bruh.
First Brisbane Derby, guys, 25 and dry, perfect conditions for running rugby league. Some intriguing fin stats here. Wayne Bennett hasn't lost a round 4 Friday night game at Suncorp ever in his career.
Fucking hell.
And Jesse Bromwich has never lost to the Broncos in 11 games at Suncorp. And the last one is only once in the 4 times in the Broncos' history have they won in round 4 when sitting undefeated on top of the ladder.
Jesus.
So there's some stats there that go against the Broncos, so I'm saving a fish and riding a dolphin here. For try scorers, the Broncos have leaked 71% of their tries down their left side. So I'm looking at Jermaine Asako here, who has scored 4 tries in 3 games, paying a juicy $2.50.
Oh, dude.
Oh, damn.
They were fucking great
They're
stats.
great
They
stats.
were great stats.
And I got to open up because those stats they've just done me. They've done me in. Because I also sent one last night, and I was like, listen, I didn't find this pattern, so I'm just going to leave it alone. But you have just provided a world in which I'm now going to read it out. The last time the Brisbane Broncos won their opening 3 games, they went on to lose round 4 against Wayne Bennett coaching in his first year at a club. That's the sort of stat that is so fucking weird, but it's elegant.
Yeah.
It's weirdly elegant.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, right? And then fucking great Rando over there just doing God's work. I'm going the upset. I'm going to go Dolphins and I'm going to go fucking hammer. That's what I'm doing. Dolphins into hammer. You get $7.01 punters and dribblers.
That's good.
Note that down.
Based on those stats, I don't hate that. I marvel at those stats. There are some really compelling stats there, and I marvel at them. But I'm already too married to my fucking beliefs here with this one. I just had a feeling about it. I found this week very hard personally to punt. It's not about me, but I found it very difficult, and I'm now married to this.
I agree. It's been a tough week.
I like Throbbo first try scorer. I just like it. I like Reece Walsh. I like Adam Reynolds. It might be a kick. It might be a play out the back behind some shape.
Oh, a bit of shape.
Bit of shape. Throbbo goes over first try scorer. Into Throbbo 2 or more, you'll get $13.99. There's not much to it. It's a feeling I had in a space where I don't truly know what's going on.
So just out the back of shape.
Out the back of shape.
Who's creating the shape?
Renault
Yep.
to Walsh. Walsh gets the ball in out the back of shape.
Out the back of shape, the shape that Reynolds
The shape
created.
that Reynolds, well, he created the shape for Walsh, who's now got guys everywhere. And he's going to run really quick and then in the same motion fucking cut out ball, Throbbo over.
The shape out the back of shape to Cobbo.
You've
Double
been doing your
shape.
homework, boys, on the shape from our stream.
Well,
shape
mate,
chat.
I haven't forgotten about it.
bro.
When Willie's sitting you down and giving you a fucking one-on-one about shape.
Well, I mean, don't just ignore Scope's input.
And
I mean,
Scope.
I mean, you just,
Yeah,
that was-
chipped in. Chipped in for a
Scope
couple.
was there helping out with the shape info
he was.
as well.
He
He was a
was.
ball playing back row.
there you were. And that was wrong of me. And I take that
Disrespectful,
back.
actually.
I take that back.
No, that's all right.
Scope
I
was
liked
there.
it. Fuck him. He's leaving. So that's me, $13.99. Scope. The shape master.
The shape master, the running lines master. I like those stats from Rando, but really even though I loved it, it doesn't really affect my bet because I just think to start the season for these teams, there's going to be some tries. I think there's going to be some tries in this game, so I'm hoping for a big game. And if you look at the last couple of weeks, Tessie New 3, Reece Walsh and Tony Staggs both 2. Very close to a hat trick. So I've gone on to, I went and looked on the player performance part of the bets this week at Ned's, and any player to score 3 tries is $5. So therefore, I don't have to really be going for anyone in particular. I can enjoy the game.
Yeah.
And if someone
great.
starts racking up tries, then I'm just going to keep following that.
That's a great market.
Yeah.
And I can just sit back, enjoy this first Queensland-Brisbane derby, the Fish versus the Broncos.
That's a
not
good
really
market.
have a horse in the race, but have a horse in the race.
Well, trust me, when you have a horse in the race, don't get on it. But when it comes to rugby league,
With different sort of horse.
no, different horse. Different horse.
It's a fish in the race.
I fucking love that market. I need to do a little bit more, tourist attraction shit around the Neds.
There are markets out there that
That I haven't seen yet.
that would speak to
New section of
the
a
young
shop.
punters like
You're
us.
like, oh, I didn't know this
wow.
existed here.
In the last Queensland derby played on round 4 at Suncorp, there was a hat trick scored, and that was Philip Sammy. So to be on,
Jesus Christ,
could be
you're
on.
quick.
How do you do that so
Where do
quickly?
you find these
Make
things?
it up. Make it up on the spot.
Nice, bruh. Like
Sebo.
Well, I'm glad what's happened here with Rando with his stats and Eddie changing his tune because I was prepared to come here as a lone wolfed cowboy just going, I think people are going to be running from this Fish line or the Fish win and it's 10.5. And I was like, you know what? I stand with the fucking Ocean on this one because I've gone for a team that's been coached by Wayne Bennett. I know he can get people up, maybe not to win, but to cover 10.5 points. That's all I'm asking. It's a lot of points. And with all these stats, I was like, okay, I was a little bit scared because there's like a fucking vanguard of hot boy Broncos charging. at the Dolphins.
Vanguard's a good word.
Yeah, great usage.
Fucking hell.
It's up there with Trebuchet.
Jesus.
And I'm like, well, I want to get in on this vanguard as well. So Walsh and Cobbo, like, I'm going to put you guys down because I don't want to be missing out on that action of the hot boys. But I'm standing with the line at 10.5 for the Fish. So it gets you $10.05, where it's the best of both worlds. Check in with the vanguard whilst hoping for 10.5, making a stand. I like it.
This
I like
is similar
it.
to my bet last week. I had the Dragons plus 11.5 into Walsh and Mam.
Yeah.
So I had the 2.
Yeah.
Very similar and was very close except for they fell off the cliff. But
I'm hoping
They were
Wayne's
close- they were
little.
close for a little bit.
they were close for 70.
Yeah,
They were.
I'm just hoping Wayne's little polishing cloth will be able to get
Polish
them
up
to hold
this-
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
not.
This is his bread and butter, this
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Against his old club.
Yeah.
Fucking backs
Head
against
noise
the wall.
city.
Friday night. He's already fucking weaseling into Kevy's mind.
Probably
Kevy's
knows all
saying
about Adam
weird
Reynolds'
shit in
mistake.
press conferences now, being like, well, there's no rivalry for us. The only team that we focus on is the Broncos.
Yeah. Because the
Heavy.
hot boys, they're going to be in there.
Come on,
They're going to be
Kevy.
dressed nice. They're going to be excited and they're going to be confident. And that's the Broncos. I love that. But Wayne's got a bunch of like older blokes who, 200 game pluses.
Misfits.
The misfits, maybe they've won
And
some
throwers.
premierships, never been stars though, and some guys who never got a chance until this year.
I didn't like that Kafusi got out. That, by the way, was the most horseshit fucking suspension I think I've ever seen.
But in relation to Suolitis, who was, it's fucking, Suolitis was worse.
But even-
and he got a
Correct.
grade 1, and Kafusi got grade 2. Fucking absurd.
I think, but even in the absence of the Suoliti tackle, I'm like, he kind of doesn't even seem to hit him late. Like it
Didn't follow through. It's a disservice to the game of rugby league.
Yeah.
That's what it is. To the fans.
Yep.
That was fucking
Who paid,
bizarre.
Yeah.
They're hard-earned.
Pay their hard-earned fucking rugby league coin.
And it fucks the game. Like, it doesn't fuck the game, but it takes a little bit away from the game that your
but it's
hitman's
also-
not there. Like, everyone's wanting to see him iron cunts out.
They're also basically saying you can't hit halves. Give them all the fucking time in the world.
It's a bit of that roughing the player in NFL sort of vibe.
correct.
Mate, it's fucking ridiculous.
Roughing the passer, is that what it is? Yeah. Lippy is going. Broncos head-to-head, Walsh, Tessie New, anytime. 7:23. It's okay. That's probably his most boring bet of the whole thing. Cowboys Titans, Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Cows favourites $1.44. Titans $2.75. The Lions 7.5. Over under 43.5. Rando for some unbiased Cowboys stats.
Dry and 30 degrees at Townsville for this Saturday night clash. The Cowboys deserved favourites. They have won 9 of their last 10 games in Townsville against Gold Coast, and they have won their last 5 games against the Titans at home as the favourite, covering the line in 4 of them. Of course, this is a different Titans side. They have won both their games as the underdog this year. They've also scored 42 points in the first half. The Cowboys have only scored 47 points in total this whole season. So could be a lot of points in this one. Now, if you're looking at try scorers, the Cowboys, they've conceded 53% of their tries on the right and only 15% on their left. So the Titans' left-hand side, which has been humming so far this season, will probably come down there again. And I'm looking at Sebo's man, Brimo, here to split through. He's scored in each of his last 3 games at fullback against the Cowboys.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But Cowboys to win, basically.
Cowboys to win, yeah.
And I think he's paying in the 3s.
He's paying in the 3s.
He is.
Very
He's
good
playing
value.
the 3s.
Very good
320-ish,
value.
I think.
Yep.
That's why I've got him in. 320, fucking oath. If I see a Brimo over fucking $3, I'm throwing everything at it responsibly. So I've got Brimo anytime and Calm Pereira anytime. This is one where, again, form lines confuse me greatly. So I was just like, fuck it, let's just go. Just some Titans try scorers. Fuck the Cowboys, though. They've kind of broke my spirit last week, so I can't go near them. Eddie, you've got an interesting bet.
I do. Listen, I said it at the top of the show. I said it last week. I've been saying it privately and publicly. I'm not liking the Cowboys this year. I'm not getting a good vibe from them. Scope may say it's the first fucking month of footy. That may be true. But my vibe meter's just, it's registering. It's registering in a big way. No Cotter this week. Obviously, Scotty Drink not playing. Big losses for the fucking Cowboys.
Is your vibe meter internal, or is that an apparatus you've purchased?
Well, it's internal,
Yeah,
but
okay.
I'm just giving like a sort of an
How you
an
feel
illustration.
inside.
An
Yeah,
illustration
yeah,
of the pun
Alex
and the
Mack
gibber.
type vibes.
Oh, shout out to Alex Mack.
And I just think that last week they went fucking so poorly, and the Titans just putting points on the Storm. I like Titans 13 plus at $7.50. Simple as that.
It's bold.
Simple as that.
It's bold.
It is, but it's beautiful.
bold as it gets.
Bold and beautiful, baby.
Scope.
Even though I'm on the Cowboys and I disagree that they're not going to, I like the bet, Edward.
Yeah.
I like the balls. I like the balls you're showing on that bet.
Bit of chutzpah.
Bit of
And I've been on the Titans for 2 out of their 3 victories, so I actually don't hate it. Boys, the reason you brought me on to this show is for my experience.
Correct.
Right,
For 4 weeks.
Tommy? For 4 weeks. Unfortunately, that experience is leaving next week. But in the meantime, I've still got a few selections for you, right? So in 2013, I know what it takes to be in the race for the leading try-scoring forward in the competition. So myself and Boyd Cordner went toe-to-toe. Boyd just got me.
Did you? Really?
So I know about competition with back rowers trying to score tries.
Yeah.
Therefore, Jeremiah Nanai last year was the leading try-scoring forward. He almost was close to the leading try-scorer in the whole competition. The year before, it was Dave Fafita. So we've got a couple of thoroughbred back rowers that are going to go head-to-head this week. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't cross for a couple each. But I'm just going to go one each. David Fafita of leading try-scoring fame 2021 against Jeremiah Nanai, leading try-scorer of 2022 fame, 4 forwards, $9.56.
I like that.
That's a
both
good
just
bet.
scored.
I love that bet.
I'm
How many
I'm
tries?
going to be having something on that.
How many tries did you score in your season?
10.
10.
Yeah,
and Boydie,
10.
how many picked you?
Boydie's
by?
11.
Fucking Boyd.
Boydie got me with 11. And
That's
he,
a
missed,
good-
and he missed 6 games with a syndesmosis in his ankle. So, but
Hey, fuck that.
I was still one off.
You were one off. That would have been a nice little title.
Yeah.
That's a good bet.
Yeah, that is a good bet. I'm a fan.
I
Sebo.
love that bet. Look, there's no surprises here, Remo. And I've got, like, my soft spot for the Titans is slowly growing into, like, almost a love of the Titans. So I'm taking that line 7.5. I just need to get up to the Goldie, borrow one of Eddie's Hawaiian shirts, buy Brimo that steak
Got
I owe
plenty,
him,
mate.
and then book around in at one of their golf courses and just drink, some fun drinks and hit the town. So 527 for Titans plus 7.5 and Brimo. Look, I'm keeping it simple. Keep it simple with the blokes that you love. You know what I mean?
You don't want to confuse the people that you love.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's a great point. Lippy Vincent, Titans plus 7.5, over 43.5. AJ and Chester, who of course he scored after I bagged him out last week. They'll be any time. 21.79 for that one.
Again, I don't hate it.
I don't hate that one.
This guy.
He feels like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't his.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
Is
is-
Lippy to date, you think so far? boys,
Well,
without even seeing the results?
You can only judge a Lippy on
gotta
their
go with
fucking results.
But, he got a smoothie, so we're all sort of a little bit scared of him.
Wary.
Wary.
I wouldn't say scared.
No,
but
I wouldn't say scared. Alert, not alarmed.
Just give me a second.
You changing your bets, are you, buddy?
No, I must have fucking just copied yours from
Okay, yeah, must have something. No. Something must have happened. I hope we're rolling still. Something must have happened. Eddie's just fucking doing his bets.
because it's not right.
Ah, well. Okay.
Because all I was looking at your bet from above when I did mine, but it's not right. It's not what I
Oh,
wanted.
right. You saw my bet and then thought I better change it because Tom's bet's so fucking smart.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it does because now you're adding
Wouldn't I
to your
just?
own.
Why wouldn't I just change? Wouldn't I just pick your
now
bet?
now you just
I
change
loved it
it.
so
No,
much.
because you can't be too obvious, right? You've got to be sly. Right. All right, Manly v Rabbitohs out at a core stadium, one of the great shitholes on planet Earth, respectfully. This is Saturday night. Is this the 8:30 game?
7:30, yeah.
7:30 game, sorry. Yep. Rabbitohs favourites. LOL, $1.55. Manly, $2.40. I think I got them at $2.55, punters and dribblers. The line is 5.5. The over-under 43.5. Rando, give me some confirmation bias stats, please.
It will be raining for the majority of the day.
Yuck.
Should dry up for kickoff, but might come back halfway through the second half. Now, the Seagulls, they've lost their last 4 away games in the wet. The Rabbitohs have won their last 5 games at home in the wet. Another headline stat here is that the Seagulls have a shocking record at a core, winning once against the Dogs in their last 13 games, dating back to the 2013 Grand Final. Wow. The Seagulls have lost their 5 games as the underdogs to the Rabbitohs away from Brookvale and have a 22% win record on the road last year. So most of it's pointing to the Rabbitohs, hence why they are the favourites.
Fuck you, mate. Sorry,
Terms,
that was an outburst.
In terms of try scorers, AJ's the man to watch here. He's scored in each of his last 5 games against Manly and each of his last 6 at a core, 5 of which have been doubles. If you're looking for more value, then Cody Walker at $2.90 is your man. He scored in 4 of his last 5 against Manly as well. Over to you.
Interesting.
Right.
Very interesting.
Love it.
You know what I remember though? I remember when we fucking made the 2013 Grand Final and we went out to fucking a core and beat the shit out of the Rabbitohs. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
the year
That's
after,
one of your
remember
last
them.
wins
That's what I
there, so
remember.
that's
I
probably
remember
why.
beating the shit out
That's
of them.
what I
Scope,
remember.
Scope, you'd have a good memory. You were doing the beating.
Yeah, we were beaten down on the Rabbits there, and Rando didn't appreciate that stat 2013 Grand Final,
mate.
bruh.
Sorry.
Well, we won.
But there was a stat that I like, so should I roll straight into
Go
it?
straight
You
into
roll.
it.
You roll.
Boys, did you ever go to frequent Bali before? We've all been to Bali?
Yep.
Yep.
So my first experience of going to Bali was 2011. And back in the day, before we'd go into Kuta, all the cool kids are in Chanku these days, but I'm an OG, so I went to Kuta. I used to roll in Kuta. And before we went to Kuta, I used to go to a little place called Alley Cats.
Been there.
Alley Cats, great joint. What they used to serve in Alley Cats was cheap, but it made you feel a little bit crook. And people actually brown bread off it. Iraq, you remember the Iraq vodka? They used to call it a double-double. So it was a vodka that went bad. So this is
It's like moonshine shit.
pretty much. So this is a bet. It makes me feel a little bit sick. It makes me feel a little bit sick that I don't just have purely Manly selections in it.
Okay.
But I've got a double-double. And what I mean by that is I've got the 2 wingers for the left-hand side scoring. AJ, boys, stats are stats. He just
Stats are
scores
stats.
against Manly.
Yeah.
So let's take an AJ double. But I'm also going to go our boy, the Omen of Doom, Ruben Garrick to score 2
Snack
also.
double.
So I'm going the left wing double. It makes me feel a little bit sick, but at the end of the day, we're going to go hard into the weekend, and we're going to go hard like I go into, whether it's Sky Garden or Bounty, wherever I end up going. I'm going to go into it feeling a little bit sick, but I'm still going to have myself a good night. And you can get 24.60 worth of units.
That's good, buddy.
That's
For
a
two-
good. That's
for
a
two
good
tries
for two-
scored.
Well, for 4. Like,
Oh,
it's a 2
double.
each.
Yeah.
It's a
of course.
double.
Yeah.
I think that's good though.
It's good.
Like it is good. I get it. It makes me feel sick hearing it because there's pro Rabbitohs rhetoric in there, but it's a good fucking bet. Listen, I heard Rando there going off about anti-Manly stats. The thing that's important to note is that's all in the past, and if you live in the past, you can't live in the present. You fucking sure as shit can't live in the future. I'm living in the present day. Manly, not the side of yesteryear. No disrespect to Scope, but this might be the best side since 2008, not 2013. Maybe. I'm not saying that though, but I'm just saying maybe. Could be. We've been beating the fuck out of people. Our defense is rock solid. Maybe we start to like the rain a little bit. I don't know. But let's just put all those negative stats out of the way and just look at Manly's form this year. We've been very good. If you were to go Manly just for the win, Turbo, who's scoring like it doesn't make any fucking, like it's the easiest thing in the world, Hamole, who's doing the same thing, this is real Old Testament, and then Cooler, who I just remember Souths being a bit weak on their left side defensively against maybe the Sharks a couple of weeks ago, so I'm liking Cooler in there as well. 46-48.
That's OT.
But
OT2.
is that ridiculously high odds for 3 try scorers and a Manly win?
I can see that happening.
I could see that
I could
happening.
clearly
If
see that
Manly
happening.
win, they score a lot of tries generally.
And it's just a win. I mean, that's a pretty.
It's not the worst bet.
It might be a genius bet.
It could
that
be.
might be a fucking.
Might be.
Am I? Who's the guy in the chair?
Stephen Hawking.
Am I Stephen Hawking's reincarnate?
Is he
The guy
Through-
saying
is he-
through it via
through me,
osmosis?
through it via osmosis, he's inside me,
Possibly.
living his best life.
How
Walking
confident-
around.
How confident are you that Manly win?
Oh, I'm confident Manly win.
That was a big pause.
No, well, sorry, I was trying to think if he was trying to. I was like, if it's.
Oh,
a
are you
double
betting?
state-
Yep.
There we go.
Yep. I'll
Yeah.
bet anyone. I'll
Manly
bet you.
win.
I'll put down 100 or 150.
I want
even.
some of that action,
Yep,
bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. How
I
many
want some
people
of
are
that
taking
action.
it?
Who's taking it? I'm on. Manly win, bruh.
Fuck it. We're all going on. 50
right.
each.
All against
50
Sebo.
each?
This could
All
really
against
change
Sebo.
Sebo's life.
Get the money out, cunt. Put it over in here in
we are.
escrow.
Yeah.
Put it in escrow. I'll use Tommy's money from last week. Thank you very much.
That's disrespectful.
There you go. So there's 50, bro.
There you go.
All right, a lot on the line that you stand to win there, Sebo.
Yep.
Just for the dub.
Just for the dub. Clean.
I like it.
Me versus you 3.
All right. That's
Sure.
beautiful. I was gonna consult the 8 ball there, but I don't even want to put that out into the
8 ball not required on that
No,
one.
8 ball not required. Nor could we afford it. Manly, there you go, 46-48. Eddie, have you gone?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, I'd like to hear what you have to say, mate.
Oh, well, thank you, Tom. Listen, I think that we all know that Manly are looking very, very fucking good in rugby league terms this year. It is the year of the bird. It's official. We've been taking souls. We're yet to lose, punters and dribblers, and we come up against an old foe. Now, if you're going to give Manly a 5.5 point start, even in the week where John Sattler passed away, I'm taking that. I'm taking that every day of the week. Now, I'm looking at fucking try scorers for the Manly Seagulls, and I cannot go past Ruben Garrick off the back of Tommy Turbo, off the back of Shade. That's what it's so fucking easy. He just gets it out the back, and he's moving so quickly, but so gracefully, that fucking Garrick's got all the space in the world, and he's a big body who likes to take contact. So even if you've got a fucking fullback coming over to try and defend him, bulls, get out my way, piss off. So Garrick goes in, and then Hamole, who said this week, Tom, that he wants to wear the New South Wales blue this year, baby. He wants to slip into that state of origin silk. And I think this is the sort of game that Freddie will be watching, going, are you going to fucking stand up and make a statement in a statement game, Hamole? Yeah, bruh. 1264.
Does him and Keon on opposite sides, aren't
They're
they?
opposite sides, but
sides.
essentially they could be fighting.
They could be fighting for the same
So big
position, yeah.
games for both of them.
Big
I
games.
like that one, Eduardo.
I like that too. Sebo, what are you doing here?
I knew that I'd be able to get $50 off each of you just for a clean head-to-head, so I didn't need to stress too much about making my money in my bet here. I just wanted to go okay, I'm going to make $150 there with these idiots who just think Manly are always going to win. Done. And then I ran into, I haven't seen for ages outside the Clavelli near me, Cam Murray. Now, Scope, I know you see a lot of players all the time, you're friends with them, but I don't. And I saw Cam. Cam used to be around a fair bit. I hadn't seen him so long, I thought he moved away. And he was walking up towards me, and I gave him a smile, but he wasn't looking at me, and I don't want to linger too long. So I kind of looked down to Wallace to get Wallace into his work and like, come on, be cute, Wallace, do his thing.
Yeah, right. Get Cam's attention.
But apparently I missed the smile coming back at me. Millie's like, oh, he was smiling at you. And I'm like, yeah, but we didn't.
Oh, you missed the smile.
I missed the smile, but I got the smile nonetheless.
No, that's a bad omen.
That's not a good
awful.
omen.
I got the smile. Doesn't matter.
No. You didn't get it.
Yes, the smile happened.
No.
You dogged him on the smile.
You got a smile, but you
Yes.
didn't get the smile.
It's a crooked smile.
Yeah.
I got the smile.
You weren't looking at him. Maybe
I
he
got the
smiled at
smile.
Millie.
No,
That's maybe.
she said he smiled at you, and I was like, good job, Wallace. Maybe he was doing it because of
Nah,
Wallace.
this is
No.
Bad boy Wallace.
I'll tell you why. Because no disrespect to Millie here, but she probably wasn't on the right angle. You only know if you're getting a smile if you're the person getting the smile because you can see if they're smiling at you. If you're on an angle, you don't know if they're looking at that person that she says
There was no one there. Look, okay, we'll see how it plays out, but I got the smile. You
didn't get the smile.
Well, the game will decide if I got the smile. But
lay Cameron Murray.
Yeah.
If you know what's good for you, lay Cameron Murray.
So I'm going, look, Cam, I'm just putting you $6 to score if we're going to beat Manly, which we most likely will, and I get my
likely, not confident
150.
either.
Most likely. You just said that you were guaranteed to get $150. Not looking good for you,
no,
bro.
for you to bet. And then
Looking good for you, bro.
he's going to stand up and score. If not, just play a really good game. And I don't care if he does score and I lose a few units here. As long as they collect my
Now
150.
he's already like, I don't care if they're fucking. This might be the worst bet you've ever done in the history of the show.
I can't wait.
I hate to
can't
break
wait.
it to you, sir, but I was that guy behind you. Cam Murray was smiling at me.
There you go.
I know NRL players. So unfortunately, Eduardo's correct. Millie couldn't quite see. I was walking my dog Zig, and Cam smiled at me, and I was like, smiled back at him.
There
Lucky,
you
bro.
go.
Okay,
There you go.
look,
That's all coming
I'm
up.
loving this because if this there's a lot on the line here. There's 150 and there's a smile from Cam Murray on the line. So
Yeah.
we'll see how
This is
it
a high
plays out.
smile fucking bet here.
He has also scored 4 tries in his last 5 games against Manly.
Oh, fucking love that.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow. I didn't even look into I never look into stats, but that's a great start.
I never look at the stats. Lippy's gone over 43.5 and Trell Turbo anytime. Don't hate that. That's a nice one.
Yep.
We move on into the good night. Waz v the Dogs.
What's the 3 Sunday games about this week?
Something on?
Any insight there?
It's a good
Well,
question.
the Waz play at having the Waz play is a 2 p.m. easy one because it's cooler, I guess, but not sure what else. Oh, is it? We going into Easter soon?
Yeah, is there something to do with Easter? Yeah, but that wouldn't really make it next
Well,
week.
you
Easter
reckon
Monday,
you
I
reckon
don't know.
Easter being on in 2 weeks dictates?
I'm not Andrew Abdo. I have no idea.
Listen, they're just
Just trying to get
savings?
people used to the throwing off the schedule.
change. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long until we go back to daylight savings? Been
Couple
going?
weeks.
First weekend in April, so next weekend.
Next
Maybe
weekend.
adjust for daylight savings then. Maybe that's why.
Maybe.
It doesn't make
Maybe.
sense still. Warriors, Mount Smart, Doggies. Warriors favourites, $1.77. The Dogs, $2.02. The line, 1.5 points. The over-under, 42.5 points. Rando.
Be a dry 22-degree day at Mount Smart. Now the Warriors, they have won their last 4 against the Dogs, and the Dogs haven't won at Mount Smart since 2012. The Warriors have also won 67% of their games as a favourite at Mount Smart in the last 5 seasons. For try scorers, I really like Viliami Vailea. He's scored in each of his 2 games he's played at Mount Smart. On top of that, the Warriors have made the most line breaks in the comp, with T. Marie Martin leading the line break assists at left half. So look to him to provide the line breaks. The Bulldogs are 6 in the comp for missed tackles, and Jake Avarillo, Vailea's opposing centre, has missed the most tackles of any Bulldog. So I really do like them coming down that left side, the wires for points, and Vailea being the beneficiary.
Good stats.
Okay, good stats there. I'm going to start off here. Now, based on those stats that Rando just said about the Warriors, I'm adding one thing to my bet here, but this was a bit of an omen bet, and I may fuck it by adding the line. I'm not sure. Eddie and I did a podcast yesterday, the Dribbler Hotline, and a gentleman called up about a dream he had. And it was about me and this dribbler being mates, and we went to Coles where Eddie was working to say g'day. We got there and Eddie's like, oi, go around the corner. I'll come bring you some free shit. He came with Smarties.
Yep.
Where are they playing?
That's smart.
That's exactly right. And who is one of their fucking strike try scorers? Edward Cossey. So Edward at Mount Smarties, he's going to be the first try scorer in this game based on the dream.
I think that's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it.
But I'm also just chucking in
That's good, Tom.
Warriors -1.5.
That's good, mate.
And
I
for
like
that, you get 12.65. And I've got to shout out this dribbler who brought it to my attention because I missed it. It was right in front of my fucking face and I missed it. And unfortunately, this gentleman is not going to get the shout out he wants because I can't find it. So sorry, dude, but I appreciate you. 12.65.
Nice.
Edward.
Yep.
Mate, I'm on them wires this week. I reckon they're playing good footy. They're just fucking trucking along under the radar, very unassuming, and just getting the job done. Those Doggies boys starting to get a bit of fart sniffer about them. And I think they go over there on the weekend. Mount Smart. There's omens everywhere. Well, there's a strong one at least. And I think they get fucking pumped by the wires. I think Charn's back at fullback's great for me. I've been on fullbacks lately and they've been delivering for me. Loving that. So wires into Charns, 471.
Can I say as well, the only thing that concerns me about the Warriors, it's almost a bit of that, is it quantum theory? It's like when I don't look at them, they seem to be doing well. And then when I start to go, oh, what's that over there? And I start trying to observe their success,
like
they start to behave differently to what I'm expecting.
The split theory.
Yes, exactly. So that's the concern for me with the Wars generally, taking that line, because they've been good this year. Whereas the Dogs have been sort of like beaten losers. Sebo.
I don't want to bet on a line or a result here. The line pretty much is a result, 1 point. I just think, but I like both of these guys. So I'm just kind of borrowing a bit of Scopes bet in Montoya. And I thought, well, I don't have Shibasaki. I'm going to go that kind of motor oil, kind of petrol head vibe with Joshy Carr. Got Carr, got Montoya. It's 346. Just it's a stolen. Yeah. It's just it's now a bet, like a petrol kind of bet, whatever it's called.
They go fast.
Yeah, it's a fast bet. It's a motorbike bet.
Yeah, so motorbike bet, just
Stolen
346.
motorbike bet.
Well, except the car.
Yeah, well,
His
just
car's
like
car.
Well,
engine,
it's a
engine oil.
motorsport bet.
Yeah,
Engine.
Engine bet. Fast,
automotive bet. of some
fasting
sort,
bet.
It's-
Automobile bet.
Yeah. So I think this one could be a done before half time as well. So I really got a taste for that last Sunday.
Wheels powered by an engine bet.
There you go. I like that. Auto combustion engine. Scope.
Nice, quick, little simple one for this one, boys. He's been pretty quiet. He started to really get himself into the game last week. And who I'm talking about Viliami Kickow, not Vilea. You nearly got me going there, Rando, when I heard Viliami. But I'm just going to go Viliami Kickow because I just think these odds are juicy at $21 to score first. Very impressed by the Warriors, not going to lie, but I'm a bit like you, Tommy. I haven't really been focusing on them too much. Shawnee Johnson looks to be having himself a season to start off with, but he hasn't come up against Viliami Kickow yet.
No, he hasn't.
So I like that edge. I think they come down that edge early and often, and therefore I don't mind Viliami Kiki. And then they kick the goal
Kiki.
at $21, boys. Nice and simple.
Good
for you, bro.
value.
Yeah, it's
for you.
A good value if you
I
simulate
think he should
this
be about
game.
15s.
Yeah.
21's.
I think he's a 15, 16s player. If you
Well,
give me 21s, I'm going to take it.
You got to
now.
jump.
If
I
that's-
might
if
actually have a
that's-
little bit of a nibble.
Yeah, if that sleeping giant wakes up.
Yeah.
But
I
like
might
he's
have a
been
nibble.
sniffing around, I mean, from a try-scoring
Yeah,
perspective.
put over
Yeah.
Perham for the first one against the Tigers.
Oh, he's in and about.
Yeah.
Realistically, he could have scored himself if
He's
he
in
wanted
it.
to.
And it would have helped me if he'd had.
It would have helped me immensely.
Because, I mean, like the outside backs, 4 in each team, they're clearly the favourites. But then Kickow's probably after that. So he's probably like $9 is probably where he,
Could be.
could be.
Yeah,
But
21's is over.
21's over.
Yeah.
I'm
We're
probably going to have a
agree
nibble
upon
at that whilst the show's still going here. Eddie, have we heard from you yet, old mate?
We have, mate. The
Oh,
Lippy,
good.
Karaz, Kickow, Dogs 13 plus $21.02.
Dogs 13 plus. That might be the most.
He might be a Dogs fan.
Maybe.
It's giving me Dogs fan
It's giving me
vibes.
Dogs fan vibes with Kick Out Carraz, Dogs 13 plus. That's for sure. I'm going to call it a Sunday Poo Slinger this next game. Sorry to disrespect any of the teams involved, but Knights v Raiders at McDonald Jones Stadium. A stadium that's becoming synonymous with Poo Slingers generally. Again, no disrespect. Knights $2.65, the Raiders $1.46, the line 6.5, over under 42.5. Rando, Poo Slinger stats, please.
This one will be a really interesting game considering the form of both sides. Now in Newcastle, it's going to be 25. Raining in the morning, should dry up by kickoff. The Raiders have a 33% win record as the favourite on the road in the last 5 seasons, and they've only covered the line once in their last 7 games as favourite against Newcastle. The Raiders have also won 5 of their 17 games at McDonald Jones in the NRL era and have only covered 20%. Raiders are 20% at covering the line in the wet.
Oh my God.
For try scorers, James Schiller jumps onto the wing for the Raiders, nephew of the great Brett Mullins. He has conceded 7 line breaks in 6 games in first grade last season. He comes against Greg Marzu last season. He comes up against Greg Marzu, who has scored in each of his last 2 New South Wales Cup games, where he is 3rd for line breaks in Rezzies and was 5th for average tackle breaks last season as well. So I'm thinking Greg's Marzu might run over Schiller here for a try, and Newcastle could cover the line.
They are deflating stats.
Listen, I take your stats, Rando. I'm going to fucking throw them in the bin. Because I'm here for spite, baby. I'm not going to go into why, but I'm here for fucking spite. I got a spite bet rocking. Milk 13 plus. All right? I want souls taken this weekend. I want souls.
Yeah,
and I fucking deserve them. Milk 13 plus. Sebi Chris, who's got a bit about him, knows how to play the game of rugby league, let me tell you. Loving what he's doing at fullback. Fucking oath. He goes in. And Jack Whiten, who's just all-star thoroughbred. Like, that little chip and chase where he got the fucking wrong bounce last weekend was just gorgeous stuff. I want more of that, please, Jack. I want a chip and chase, go yourself, step a couple of beaters and fucking try time. 12.92.
I love hearing the spite bet energy from you, Eddie, and whilst the stats were, disappointing to hear, the spite bet re-energized me, and I'm fucking with you. Fuck Rando, fuck those stats, and fuck the Knights. Milk -5.5, and Tommy Starling anytime. The Knights are a weak team, right? And weak shit teams that are weak. They get dominated in the middle, and then I'm just going to see Tommy Starling coming on when they're weak and tired, and he's just going to fucking do a bit.
He nips about.
He nips about, dude. He's quick, fast feet, and the Knights fucking suck.
He nips about.
So Milk -5.5, Tommy Starling anytime 12.44.
That's a good bet.
Spiteful as it gets.
Good bet.
Scope.
I'm with the panel. Fuck you, Rando. And your Schiller stat, right? Because I'm going against Greg Marzu. I'm going against the Knights. They've looked awful. Even in the game that they won against the Tigers. Awful watch. Awful game. The Poo Slinger of the season so far. And when I'm looking at Poo Slingers, I went back to the player performance. So I started just, couldn't really find anything that I love. So I started going through the player performance. And although Greg Marzu, he's good for line breaks and that, he's got an awful read in him. He's got an awful read. Awful read
Kid can't read.
Of defence.
Can't read.
I'm going to go Schiller.
Did you know that Greg couldn't read?
I didn't know that he couldn't
read. Can't read. Just like...
Bit of Mayweather about him.
Mayweather can't read.
He can't read.
50 Cent always tries to get him to read books and shit when they're having beefs. He's like, if you can read me this book, I'll give you some money or some shit. He's like, I'm not doing it.
I love that. I'm taking on Mayweather. I'm taking on Mayweather on the wing, and I'm going to go, but I'm going to give myself a little bit of cover. So, in the player performance, you can go first 2 tries, either being Schiller or Hopewadi on the other side. So, a little bit of cover as well. Either of them can score 2, or they can go 1 each, and you get $14 about that.
So either of them to be involved
To
in
score
the
the
first
first
2 tries.
The first 2 tries.
Either 1 each or 2 each.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that. Bit of an
Very fun.
illiteracy bet.
Yeah, you got to be able to read to put that bet on.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You really do.
That's a literate bet.
$14
I'm no
dues.
Marzu, boys.
Huh?
No Marzu here.
No. You can't read. Sebo.
Look, I'm going to stick up for a poor mate Rando and not tell him to fuck off because he has convinced me out of a bet before, and it was like a Raiders game, and it came off for me. And I had a 4-legger on this thing because I had no idea. I'm still keeping it 4 legs. It's just that I'm throwing Marzu in, Hunt out. So I'm not picking a result because, again, this memory might be from years ago, but I swear these two always have overs games. It's always like 32-6 or something. Gets quite heated. defense sucks. They let in like 20-point kind of blocks. Like, you're up by 10 points and then they're down by 10 points somehow. So overs, Huddy Young. I don't think is he banged yet?
No banging.
No
He hasn't banged yet.
And you know what? I imagine he looks good when he's banging. You know what I mean? He's a guy that...
He banged a lot last season.
He did.
Yeah, when he bangs hard. He keeps banging.
He keeps banging.
Yeah, I think he's
He'd
going
be
to
a serious bang.
Yeah. He's opening his banging account and throw Marzu in and then Schiller. It's those new odds get you 15-25. I'm going to be a bit of an Old Testament Tom here. I don't want to risk too much on a game that could be a poo slinger.
Yeah.
He also on Huddy Young, he's from Maitland, so he's banging in his own neighbourhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If
Very
Huddy Young's
learned to
going
bang.
Yeah. Open his banging account for the year, it'll be near home. Yep. Yeah, I love it.
What is the Lippy doing, Ed?
Lippy is Raiders head-to-head. Hudson Young, again, he gets it. And Papali'i, who's back. 15-44.
Fuck, the Knights are in huge trouble. Last game of the round. Dragons, Sharks. This is a rivalry game, punters and dribblers. Nico Hines returns, which we love to see. Hot as fuck. Haven't seen a wet-haired Nico for far too long. Dragons $2.50, Sharks $1.52. Netstrata Jubilee Stadium, worst named stadium in all of rugby league. Line 5.5, over under 42.5. Rando.
I'll be drawing 23 at Cogra. Now the Sharks, they've won their last 5 games against the Dragons.
Yes, sir.
The Dragons are 33% win rate at Cogra as the underdog as well. So it looks to be all Nico and the Sharks. Speaking of Nico, when he is at 7, Britton Nakora has scored in 4 of the last 5 games.
Love that.
Nakora has also scored in each of his last 2 games. And the Dragons, they're conceding 50% of their tries on their left side. So Nakora looks good here, and so do the Sharks.
I love that, Rando. That's got me up and about, bruh.
Yeah.
I've obviously taken the Sharks minus 5.5. Nico Hines comes back. I was aware of that stat in terms of the Sharks love humping Dragons. And I saw Nakora last week, bruh. Even though the Raiders won, that motherfucker runs the sweetest of lines. Like, just gorgeous lines. And if Nico's back in town...
Slugs?
Slugs, bro. Big, meaty slugs. You know? Like, tips it out, gets into it. Now, he goes over off the back of some help from his boy Nico Hines. And Will Kennedy, who, I got to tell you, got a bit of a crush on that bloke. He's a fucking...
Yeah, we all do.
He's a footballer.
We're all vying for his attention.
He's a footballer, that kid. Big fan of his work. Sharks minus 5.5. Kennedy, Nakora, 11.87. Good odds.
They are good odds. Scope, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm struggling to find a read on this one. I think when I can remember back to the games at... What's the name of the stadium again? Netstrata?
Netstrata Jubilee Stadium.
Awful name.
Awful, dude.
I always feel like those games down there could be... Rando, you might have thrown it out. Unders. I just think unders down there. I think windy... I don't like it.
Windy, shit stadium. Shit
Dragons
game,
playing awful.
Dragons.
Any grounds that are an oval shape are usually unders grounds, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. So...
Is that right?
I'm going to go...
That's a vibe.
I'm going to go under 42.5 because I think that's way too many points. I think the Sharks cover because, I was on the Dragons last week and they were very disappointing not covering the 11.5. And I'm going to go the opposite side. I think the Dragons would have done their homework going, hey, Nico Hines is back, bruh. Like scoring? Britton Nicola. So I'm going to go the other side, Teague Wilton. He's also been quiet. He doesn't mind crossing the line for a piece of meat. Just like Huddy Young, he's been a bit quiet this season. So I think he's due. Give me Sharks minus 5.5, Teague Wilton anytime, and under 42.5 for 14.63.
Okay. I don't mind the inclusion of Teague Wilton because it's a windy shithole of a ground. The name Teague reminds me of he's probably got Scottish heritage where it's just cold and windy all the time.
Teagues do good work at shitholes.
Yeah. That's just a fact. That's not a vibe thing. That's just what happens.
No, that's just 100% fact.
No. Now, Rando, I did like your Nicola sort of stat there that when Hines is playing, he likes to score. But then I also, it'd be remiss of me not to, to lean on a rugby league legend in times of need. And when Scope is saying things like they're going to be prepared for shit like that, then you know what it means for me? It actually means that my bet makes more sense. Is that there's going to be some room. So he's just going to dummy to Nakora, that's Nico Hines, and he's going to go through himself and score a try. So I like Nico to score in his first game back.
Where's Sean go?
a show and go, Eddie. Just a cut and dry classic show and go. Now,
like a show
Will
and go.
Kennedy, who we are all, if he's like the hot girl at the dance, we're all swarming him right now, responsibly and respectfully, but swarming him to try and get his attention. We're all trying to fucking dance the best, and so I'm again going to try and impress Will Kennedy this week. I'm taking him
dance like your
anytime.
mum.
Well, unfortunately, that is how I dance. It's the affliction I've been born with. I dance like my mother. And then I'm going Sharks 13 plus because Nico's back and I hate the Dragons. Now, that's probably the most dangerous part of my bet because the Dragons are a fucked side. So they may ruin my weekend there with that. But Sharks 13 plus, Kennedy, Hines anytime, 1988. I don't know. They're pretty good odds, but it's also could be an awful bet. Sebo.
Everyone's chasing Kennedy, and last week, Kennedy, Mulatalo and I have a nice Arvo session,
You have a three-way?
Bondi Diggers Club kind of sunset, golden hour kind of vibes. Ended up lingering around after I collected some units on him. So I thought, why not just do that again? And so I started doing that again, and I was like, well, the Sharks line's obvious as well, 5.5, like take that against the Dragons. And I did have Nicola in there this morning, but I took him out because I'm like, I don't want to be too crowded. But now after hearing these stats, I'm like, no, I've got to keep this kind of Sunday afternoon kind of drinks train going. Like, it's like, Mulatalo, you and I have been buddies for fucking years now. And now Will's just part of it. Let's not make him feel like the third wheel here. How about we bring in Nicola as well?
Okay.
And so we can play some like 2v2 and pool. We can do some kind of 4-man activities. So I'm getting him in as well. So the Sharks to cover, Mulatalo, Kennedy and Nicola, 1858.
Ooh,
Okay,
nice.
there you go. There you go. That's an afternoon at Bondi Diggers. Could be really nice.
Lippy dribbler, Jack Bird first try score of $41.
Now, I mean, you'd have to think that has something to do with the old club sort of bet. Him coming up against his old club.
$41.
41's pretty
It's
good.
a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a
That
lot.
is overs.
That is over.
That's a lot.
That's interesting for me.
That seems high.
We're all like, oh, hang
Oh,
on.
another piece of that.
Yeah. I'm
$41
interested in that
dude.
one. Let's all try and commit that one to memory. Might have to add that one in.
Is Bird playing 6?
No, he's playing lock now.
Lock.
Yeah, and Corey Horsburgh, who filled in at lock off the bench, he scored a double last week against
Yeah, he did.
the Sharks as well. So
He looked good, the big
Bill
red.
could be looking open.
Shit. Okay. Let's get into our unit scoopers here. Punters and dribblers. Time to scoop units. And for the final time on the show scope, I'd love to hear your unit scooper, please.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to hit the Azaki 8
You don't back
unless I come back as a lippy dribbler.
Oh,
potentially.
okay. Yeah, we
Could
a nameless Libby dribbler.
a nameless lippy dribbler.
Johnston
with no affiliation.
Johnston Hurrow.
with zero affiliation.
Yes. No.
But I'm going to go the head to head again.
Johnson Hurrow.
Huston Joro. I'm going to go my picks I'm going for the perfect date. I'm going to try pick the round. Unfortunately, it doesn't get me to the Yazaki, but they're good odds. So I'm going to go the Eels to beat the Panthers, the Storm to beat the Tigers. They playing the Tigers?
Yep.
Broncos to beat the Fish, Titans to beat the Boys, Manly, of course, to beat the Rabbitohs, the Dogs, Willie Mason's Dogs to do a number on the Wars over there. I'm going to go the Raiders against the Knights because they're awful, and finish off with a nice, solid Sutherland Shire victory from the Sharks. And you get 155 units from that.
I don't hate that. Now, if he does get it when he leaves, do those units get dispersed amongst us equally, or do they just disappear?
They're held
they-
in escrow.
they-
held in escrow.
They go up on an immortal bet, but I was just
course.
thinking in my head, I was like, the way the universe works, of course he's going to land something like this and then leave. So I am responsibly getting on that myself, just so if it does happen, it's like, oh, you can join me on the immortal board over there. That's great. But I've also collected units.
Okay, but obviously they don't
not play.
count.
No, not my leaderboard, but I'm just, little.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, don't let him leave and we get nothing out
Yes.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, yeah, right.
Play
That makes
both
sense.
sides.
Yeah, that's
you know
smart.
What I mean?
No, that's
Like-
just smart punting, really. Eddie?
I've also tried to pick the round. Sorry, but I haven't gone with your bets, Johnson Hurrow. I think Panthers win against the Eels, Storm, Broncos, Titans, Seagulls, Warriors, Raiders, Sharks. So a couple of differences. 59, 14 cents. Couple more favourites in there.
Yeah. Sebo, what are you doing?
I'm doing a smoothie.
Welcome.
They're all pretty much favourites, but it's pretty good odds. So I don't know where this could go wrong. Maybe I do have a cow guy in there, but I've got Sevo, Coates, Cobbo. They're all locks. Talangi, Gross, AJ, Joshy Carr, Tomoko, Mulatalo. I got 6 of 8 last week. I'm getting a few more weeks of the smoothie bet.
Tomoko could fuck you.
178.
Tuolangi.
Tuolangi.
I know. Now I'm seeing it. I did it early this morning.
Tuolangi could fuck you.
I don't like. I see Tuolangi in a smoothie bet. I'm not liking
It
it.
used to be a lock.
It used to. Exactly.
Used to. Yeah.
So look, I'll go some non-favourites next week if this doesn't get up.
I was inspired by many a smoothie bet that I saw on the weekend. Obviously, mine was pretty much ruined. Otherwise, it was a sure thing. But the guys who got up on the weekend, they weren't just from every game. They had a couple of players from like some games as well.
Smarter bet. Yeah, it's a good smoothie.
So I'm sort of mixing it up a little bit here. To be honest, as I did it last night, I was in a state of flux, so I can barely remember what the fuck I did. But I've got To'o in the Panthers Eels. I've also got Sevo in the Panthers Eels. In the Storm Tigers, just Xavier Coates. Fish Bronx, Reece Walsh. Fish Bronx, Selly Cobbs. Cows, I've gone Cam Pereira because fuck the Cowboys. South Manly, AJ. South Manly, Turbo. Warriors, Dogs, Cozzy. Knights, Raiders, Albert Hopewade. And Dragons, Sharks, Mulatalo. It's a lot there. And it's
How many legs
One,
you got?
2, 3, 4, 5,
least 11.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. It is a lot, dude. No, listen. This isn't like, this is genius shit. This is how I will be approaching my smoothies from now on. It happens. We see it happen. So it's going to happen at some time. So I'm responsibly getting on it at $1,725.12 to try and change my life.
Good for you.
What is the Lippy doing?
Lippy has Taruva, Munster, Walsh, Brimo, Trell, Chance, Albert, Hopewate, and Nikora. $2,444.44.
Fuck, I like that bet.
He got
Game
a
set,
smoothie.
game set match if he gets back-to-back
He got a
smoothies, bro.
smoothie, dude. It's actually really dangerous. We brought a guy on with a smoothie track record onto the show, but I
Well,
like
because
that.
we like to test ourselves against
No,
the
I
bets.
know. You're right.
I mean, it's good though because again, you put $10 on yourself. He gets on the board. Maybe he wins a season, sure, but you get something out of it.
Yeah.
You get a 2,000.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look at him.
They're good odds.
They're ridiculous odds. But that's the unit scoopers. Now, let's get our $10 into 10,000. Who's on the Thursday
I'm on
night?
Thursday. I've got Brian To'o, $1.82.
Lovely. Who's Friday?
That is the skip, $2.50, I believe, or $2.40.
$2.40.
Jazzy Olam.
Lovely. Saturday?
Me, Turbo. He's over $2, $2.50.
That's overs.
250
I
is
thought I'd try to
nuts.
juice up the, so we can get there a little bit extra.
Yeah, I
I
get
like
you.
that.
I
Well
get you.
done.
I also had a similar thing where you see Will Kennedy of Look at Me Dance at 255. He's fucking scoring at Will as well. So Will's going over.
Yep.
I'm taking the Fox. He scored twice, but in both games against Ed Cozzy, also wearing a Let's Trot shirt. So bit of omen there.
Okay.
Like it.
Let's drop, baby.
All right.
Nice work.
That's us, punters and dribblers. Scope, thank you very much for your time on the show, brother. It's been great. Good luck with levels and everything else. Obviously, we will still be seeing each other, but less, which is disappointing.
Thanks for having me, boys. It's been
All the
fun.
best,
Loved
bro.
it.
Thanks, mate.
Enjoy the show. I'll be back. I'll be watching next week too because I want to see my units. I've got my units coming up. Bro.
Yeah, we might be watching out of the show.
I'll be watching
out of the show. Thanks again to Neds for your support. If you are going to have a punt, punters and dribblers, always responsibly. Bye-bye.